Welcome to HBCU Her Voice, a place where we celebrate the powerful voices and stories of remarkable women from historically Black colleges and universities. I'm your host, Shanasia Washington, a proud HBCU graduate myself. I'm thrilled to bring you this platform dedicated to amplifying the voice of our community. We dive into inspiring stories of resilience, success, and the incredible impact these women are making in the world. From trailblazing entrepreneurs to innovative leaders, we bring you the stories that matter, showcasing how HBCU experiences shape paths and fuel passions. We'll explore challenges, victories, and wisdom. Whether you're an HBCU alum, a student, faculty member, supporter, or simply someone who believes in the power of diverse voices, we are so glad to have you. So listen up as we share insights, celebrate achievements, and uplift our community. Together, we can inspire the next generation of leaders and ensure our voices are heard loud and clear. A grand welcome to HBCU Her Voice. And just like that, I'm back like I never left. I am your fabulous host, Shanasia Washington, streaming from the beautiful city of Houston, Texas. And where we at, though, the HBCU Her Voice podcast. And y'all know I'm a little biased. It's my favorite place to be. You know, you ain't got to catch me in the street. I'm going to tell you the truth. I love being here because we bring the energy, we bring the most amazing guests, and we really, really facilitate great wisdom throughout our community. Today is no different. I have a beautiful guest today, and she is here. I'm so proud of her for being here today and pushing through. I want to let her come to the stage and do our normal drill, tell us her name, where she's streaming from, which HBCU she's repping, and we're going to get that story. Without any further waiting time, here's my very beautiful guest for today.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so excited for this platform because I'm a proud HBCU graduate. I am Coach Danny D or Danielle Detiege. I am streaming from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm representing the illustrious Xavier University.
Come on, she right down the street in New Orleans. You know, I'm in Houston. She says she's from Xavier. We off to a good start now, Coach Danny. So we gotta let these.
Houston is our cousins.
We're cousins. You know, it's like all family in the house today. So I heard that, you know, and I love Xavier. I had applied and got accepted to Xavier back in the day, but I ended up at Houston Tillerson here in, well, not here, but in Texas, but Austin, Texas. So that's where I went to school at. But Coach Danny, she said she's a coach. Talk about that coach title. Tell us about who you are, what you're doing, and tell us how you became a coach.
Okay, so interesting journey. I stumbled into coaching actually. So I, had my corporate job, was working as in administration operations, and then I started my first business by a whim and my second business. The first business was a balloon decor company. And I came in, got into the industry, realized it was super creative, but it wasn't, a lot of people weren't focused on business principles. So I brought that to the table in my business, and I was able to take that business very quickly to a six-figure business. And in that process, when I would go to conferences and meet people, they would always, stop me and ask me all of these questions about what I was doing. And that's kind of how the coaching came into play. I just kind of got pulled into it. It was something that I kind of already did, just not as a business. And I just got pulled deeper and deeper into it. And once I got there, it was just the understanding that a lot of people either didn't know the information of how to make their business successful, but also the mindset, believing that they could do the big thing and that it could be more than a hobby. Because I think a lot of times when we're talking about, creative businesses, we think about it as a side hustle or as a hobby, but not necessarily as like a sustainable business that you could leave your 9-to-5 like I did. So that's kind of how I entered coaching. And then I just fell in love with helping women to amplify their voices and to see themselves in their fullness and not just, downplay who they were and what they were capable of.
Oh, I absolutely love it. And I think that golden nugget from that piece, Coach Danny, is when you talked about creative businesses most time perceived to be the side hustle. And, many women, because I know many women that are working a job and they still have, and in many cases, it is a creative business, whether it is, balloons or catering or whatever that looks like. And part of that, in my opinion, from talking to them, is that because they still kind of have their mind in that 9-to-5 grind, and they're still it's hard to merge those worlds sometimes. Give us about 2 or 3 pointers of someone who has a side hustle business to kind of walk them into, hey, this could be a big thing. You can actually transition this to be, a full-time job. Because to be honest, Coach, that it takes their mindset piece to go ahead and say, look, I'm coming out of this corporate 9-to-5, whatever that looks like, and I'm going over to build something that's going to be a sustainable business that can pay my bills.
So I would say the first thing, stop calling it a side hustle. A side hustle is a cuss word to me. Like, don't, like, if you say it like, that's fighting words. Stop calling it a side hustle. At the point that I realized that I needed to look at it differently and change my mindset around it, one of my good friends, I was at work, and she was saying, oh, money's getting tight. I need to get a side hustle like you. And the way I cut my eyes at her, and I told her, I said, this job is the side hustle. My business is the main. So it's switching that mindset. Once you switch that mindset, the next thing is operating in that thought process. So setting up your business in a way that it doesn't feel like a side hustle, even if it is. Like, I think sometimes, we have those limitations, like I'm on the job. And so, I can only work during certain hours because I'm on the job. My clients never knew that I had a full-time job. Like, they never knew that. So if somebody said, oh, well, can you come and deliver at, 10 a.m. and I knew I was at work. I said, oh, I have another appointment at that time. What about if I come for 6 a.m.? Or what about if I come for noon? Because then I can drop it off on my lunch break. So I still operated from the front end looking like a full-time business, even though I was doing it while I was working. So it's important to shift your mindset and also build your systems. I am a systems girl. Systems are your best friend. It's like having an additional team before you can afford to have a team. So things are moving and effortlessly while you're still doing your other thing. So those systems are what connected me to corporate clients. And that's the main thing that they appreciate, is that it was so easy to do business with you, never knowing that they were doing business with me while I was still working a full-time job.
Coach Jenny, that's golden, and that is so beautiful. I remember when I was leaving corporate back in 2021, I still feel like I'm still fresh out. We're getting there, we're getting some season, but I'm still fresh.
Because you got to detox from that. You got
and see, from 2021 to 2022, that's all I did was detox. I didn't really even have no products and services. I was expanding my mindset. I was going to virtual events and stuff. There still was a lot of COVID and stuff going on. So I was just going and filling the land, but I was detoxing. I mean, because my last 3 years there was not pretty. So I had to go through a very, very strong detox and get my feet back on the ground and get ready to go. But one of the things that was really good that you said that really resonated, you said the job was a side hustle. So even though I didn't have a full-on business, my mind and spirit had shifted from that place, right? I was already gone. I just had the body. I was gone already. So what that looked like for me, because I didn't have, the business just set up per se, all of my fresh ideas, that was mine. So I got up in the morning at 5 or 6 o'clock and I wrote. I got up in the morning and I got intentional about my devotion time. I said, this right here, you getting all my fresh time. They gonna get what's left over. You better hope I even click on, okay?
Tell me the list of things that you need from me, and I will deliver them at the end of the day. Now, above and beyond that, because and a lot of times in these jobs, that's not appreciated anyways, right? You doing all of this extra, but then when it's time for promotion or for increase in pay, all of a sudden nobody remembers all of the extra that you did, right? So focus your energy on what's going to fuel you, what's going to get you further. And if you have a dream, start pouring into it. Like, don't make the excuse of not having time. You can balance it. You can figure it out. There are a lot of people that have done it. Reach out. I have no problem sharing my story of how I transition. Reach out, make a plan, because that's the biggest thing, that why we spin our wheels, because there's no plan in place. When I knew I was ready to go, I had a 2-year exit strategy. I already had a plan of how it was going to look. Now I ended up leaving before then for some reasons, because I could not make it that long. But I had a plan to make sure I was setting myself up for success, that I wasn't going to leave the job and then all of a sudden be floundering trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm. And that was definitely a part of my strategy. I had my first business coach I didn't even know business coaches existed, because I was such a corporate girl that climbed the ladder very quickly. It was never really in my natural plan, I would say, to even be a business owner, right? I had to be forced into a business owner, right? I had to get all the way tired. I had to, figure out, hey,
Yep.
I had to do all this kind of things, right? Never knowing that there was going to be all of that hurt was actually going to be an exit strategy for me to do something different that's so natural and so rewarding, right? So, sometimes that pain and the struggle or whatever is actually the key to your freedom. And I've been telling people, that all the time. That see what you're battling with right now. If you go head on and slay that dragon and get to the other side of that, it is funny now. It is funny now. We're not gonna preach, but I'm telling people, slaying those dragons have so much power. You're gonna lose every time if you succumb every time the dragon comes. You understand?
The thing is that you're uncomfortable already, right?
See, speak about it.
Be uncomfortable for something good. Be uncomfortable. If you're going to have to struggle for something good. Struggle for something that's going to serve you long term. I think we like the uncomfortable that we're familiar with, right? But I don't want to be here all my life. I don't want to be in this situation all my life. So I don't mind going through a phase to get to somewhere better. And every situation that I had to work through in life has always brought me to somewhere better. And it's been worth it. It may not have felt like it in the moment as I was doing it, but it was worth it. And now I don't resist. When something comes up and I know that I have to change or grow to, get into that space, I don't resist it anymore, because I'm like, well, it's not going to feel good right now, but it's going to be so much better on the other side.
Yeah, and learning how to operate in this, it doesn't feel good. Everything is not going to feel good. Because I'm speaking to these women, well, I can't get up there. I can't say that. I said, well, how long are you going to sit here in that mindset in the days? I said, baby, it's 11. We record this on 11/24/24. And this year is gone, Coach Danny. I can remember.
Look, it will fly by so fast. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, just being 100%, I told you was going on in my personal life. Tomorrow ain't promised. So what I know is I want to leave here knowing that I played full out. I don't want no regrets on the table. I don't want to, have all of these thoughts and dreams that one day on the table. I want to have lived it full out. I can't promise that I'm going to check off all of the things, but I know that I was working towards it every single day. And I didn't leave a thing untouched. So get out there and do it. We're not waiting for, whatever year to pass. We're not waiting for the children to go to school. We're not waiting till we lose 50 pounds. We want, my mission is to make sure that women are living joyful, fulfilled lives today. So don't put it off any longer. Make sure that you're getting the most out of your life.
I love it. And you know what my motto is, Coach Dan? I tell people, I'm going to leave this place empty. So what that means is whatever I set out to do today, Coach Danny, shall be done. Right. It might not be the ultimate. It may not be in his plans and my plans. Still to this day may not even match. But what I have in front of me today to control, the earth's going to get it today.
Yes.
Whatever shall be done today, it will be out on today. Okay.
Yes. And
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and it doesn't have to be huge. I think sometimes we think that, every day has to be like huge. Just pick up a book. Just, read an article, do something. I try to do something in my passion work every single day. So do something.
I love it. And Coach Jenny, let me just go here quickly because we talked about the balloon business or whatever, but you have a second business. Yes. I want you to talk about that, kind of the mission, the overarching goal of that business, and just give us what that is all about and really how you came to come into a second business.
So the second business is my coaching business. It's called Workflow. And it really just came out of, one, my love of systems and operations and business. Two, my balloon industry friends just kept pulling me in that direction because they wanted, a little more guidance. And then the other thing is just as I meet women, as I have a podcast as well. So as I interview women, they're like, I meet these phenomenal women doing amazing things, but there's something, where they are feeling nervous about doing that next big thing. And so it became important to me to focus in on mindset, because that mindset is what is keeping us from really fully stepping confidently in our greatness. So the two things that I focus the most on are mindset and calendar detox. So getting all of that stuff that's not related to what we want out of our way so that we can get to that purpose work. So I really want to help women get to their purpose work, be fulfilled. So look at success differently, because we always look at success as I made this many figures, or I got this job, I have this title. But what about the rest of your life? Like, success is holistic. So your success is only as good as you can really look at every part of your life. You could be doing great in business and you're struggling in your relationships, or you don't like you haven't dealt with healing yourself. So making sure that we are looking at our whole selves and making sure that we are reaching those fulfillment goals and our purpose, so that we are actually walking in our purpose, instead of like letting that be that thing that's like, oh, it's a nice idea, but we're never actually executing it.
That is so beautiful. And I think, we're in a good space now because now we get to redefine the terms of success. Some of our ancestors, our parents, they didn't have the opportunity to redefine success. Success was told to them, go to school, get the good job. That is what they had as the marker of success. So when I'm getting to speak with women who are redefining what success looks like, it brings me the ultimate joy. Like it makes me feel, very proud of, all of the seeds that they planted to eat, for us to get to a place to have such a conversation to say, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. That's not what brings me success. And I know when I was reviewing your intake form and you was telling me after losing your grandmother, you felt that you were so busy that you were not even really enjoying the things that matter. When I tell you, Coach Danny, that's why I am in the season of my life. I am literally redefining how Sinead operates through the world. If I want to go to your kid's birthday party, I ain't going now, Coach.
Look, they laugh at me. I say, look, I don't need to go to your 15th baby shower. Like, what, where you want me to send the diapers? Then just tell me that. Like, that's not, the priority. But also, I don't need to go to this meeting, or just because you have an opportunity, it doesn't mean it's a fit for me and what I need to do. And so I have no problem saying, you know what, that's not really aligned with where I'm going right now. And stepping back from those situations and then looking at what's important to me. Family time is very important to me, but the past version of me was not able to be fully present when I was there. So I'm there, but at the same time, I'm thinking about, oh, I got to put the clothes in the wash. Oh, I have a meeting tomorrow. And I'm running through the presentation for the meeting. I'm doing all these other things, but I'm never present in the space that I'm in. So we have to change that around, and we have to stop looking at busy as a badge of honor. It is not. people reward us for busy. They're like, oh my God, you do everything. And it's like, what is the value in that? Why do we get so validated by that? And what can we do differently so that we're getting validation for things that actually feed us, as opposed to just being busy to say that we're busy?
Absolutely. And a big part of it is American culture. I have friends that, a diverse set of friends that are not of American culture. And, our chase mentality, we got to the next promotion, the next big thing, whatever, that's really not a part of their being, right? So when I tell people this all the time, when I managed an international team of people from all over the globe, when I did that in the last part of my career, that was something that I was supposed to take from that place. Because even when it's bad all around, he'll give you something. He'll give you something in the wilderness.
Absolutely.
And it feels like the wilderness, but I am giving you something from that. And it changed my whole way of life. It changed my way of the globe. It changed my way of culture. It changed the way I operate and see things. So, why it felt bad at the total end, that was the wilderness. He still gave me a little bit of seed to take from that to plant somewhere else. So now, even when I'm like doing like people, because I am a person that, has the busy look, right? Because there's a bunch of different things that I touch, but they don't know, baby, when it's off.
That part. Well, I tell people, because people still say that to me.
Right.
And I explain to them, I will stop them. I say, no, I'm not doing everything. I said, but the reality is, and this is, a point that people need to really internalize, because I'm intentional in my actions, I'm executing. So it looks like I'm doing a whole lot because you're seeing me execute, as opposed to having 25 windows open and none of them are complete. So yeah, you're seeing me post, successes, but it's because I'm being strategic and focused on the things that I need to be doing. So I'm doing far less than I did previously, but I am much more productive.
Oh, Coach Danny, I was back here around here looking for an offering plate, and I ain't got my little book up here. I have it because I don't have it because these past 2 guests, baby, I said, "Where's my little?" I had a little golden bucket up here. They didn't. I don't know. My son probably came here or he took my golden bucket because we going this morning because Coach Danny said execute. Girl, when you said execution, I almost fell out this chair because that's a differentiator right there. You can be busy all you want to. You ain't finishing nothing.
Right. Ain't it's busy work. It's really busy work. Like when people say that entrepreneurs don't work hard, they absolutely work hard. They're probably the hardest working people that you will come across. But so many of us are doing busy work because we haven't taken the time to find out what it is we want and align our actions with what we want. So you doing all the things, but it's pointless. It's busy work, and it's not strategic and focused on your goal. When you get focused in on your goals, you start to see things happen, so rapidly. Like when I first started the business, like I said, it was a side hustle at that time, and it was bringing in money, but it wasn't priority. When I made it priority, I went from that business being like a little change in my pocket to that business being a 6-figure business and me being able to quit my job in a year and a half. So that's that focused, intentional, strategic action. So, but that has to start with understanding who you are and who your business is. And we skip over that part. We just want to jump in, and we don't want to take the time to really sit in that.
And I was having a conversation with my cousin, and she's a younger girl, and she's like, I'm just so tired. And I was like, this is not like a cap or a flex. I'm about to start teaching you how to fight back in life. I said, it's 12 o'clock. And I said, I've pretty much finished all my tasks because I told myself at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 6:30, Sinead's going to get this done. We're going to take a mental break from 6:30 to 7. At 7:15, I'm back to get this done. And this may sound crazy. So this may seem so foreign, something nobody ever talked to or whatever. I said, because you're not strategically putting your time back into the day. I said, when you tell this day where it's going to go, it's going to go. I
Right.
said, but if you stay in the mindset of, I'm tired, I can't figure this out, I say, life is going to keep beating you up. And we just had this conversation a couple days ago. And I say, it's not because I'm an old superwoman and I got more gifts and talents than he gave you. I say, because he got no respect of person. I say, so, you see me out here doing this. It ain't because, he loves me more.
Mm-mm.
You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
getting in touch. It's getting in touch. And we're gonna go to church. Let's go to church. It's getting in touch with God and what his plan is for you and listening. Because I didn't many times I'm guilty. I didn't go on a trail and then it didn't go where it was supposed to go. And when I sat back with God and I'm like, God, why you let me go all the way down the street that way? If you knew I wasn't supposed to go that way. And he said, I never told you to go that way. So he's gonna wait for you to come back. But it's being able to sit in that silence. And that's something that we struggle with because we are a part of this grind culture in this busy world that tells us go, 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 go. But we never sit down and plan out where we're going. It's like if you had to go run errands and you have to go to 10 different stores, you could just get in the car and just start driving aimlessly, or you could sit down and say, you know what, this store is the furthest out. I'm gonna go to the furthest out and then I'm gonna come back towards the house. That's a direct path versus you just jumping from here to here to here, and you may end up driving 20 extra miles because you didn't have a plan. You didn't have any direction on where you were going.
Oh, I love it. And that is, oh my gosh, that is just so golden. That sitting in silence, we don't
that's the hard part.
that is the part. How you gonna hear it if you're always moving, if you're always going, if you're always talking, if you're always just doing the thing? You gotta be able to sit in silence and get it. So that you can hear clearly. That comes in. I want to go here with the services really quickly because I want you to make sure that you drop here how we can connect with you on the services, where they can find you, whether it's social media, the website, however you want to leave for connection notes. I want you to drop that here.
Okay. So you can connect with me at coachdannyd.com. I'm also on social media at Your Workflow, both on Facebook and on Instagram. And the two flagship programs that I run are the Capable Confidence Challenge. So that's working with imposter syndrome and building our confidence from the inside, because we can look the part from the outside, but it's dealing with those thoughts that are happening in the inside. And then also Calendar Detox, where I help you to literally detox your calendar and get your priorities and your calendar in alignment. So those are my main two programs, but I also do individual coaching as well. And I have some like business courses that I have for people who are still trying to figure out their ideal client or how to structure their business.
Okay, now y'all know that the year about to turn over. Some of y'all need to be getting that calendar detox like ASAP, because I love that, by the way. This year's about to turn over. You need to be intentional about how you're going to speak. I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't wait till 2025, but I know that people set markers based on the the year turnover. You can set markers anytime, but I'm just saying based on how most of y'all flowing out here, and I'm just you need to be trying to look at that calendar detox, because guess what? You're going to go into 2025 with the same old nonsense on that calendar. That ain't
absolutely.
That ain't getting you nowhere. I'm sorry, Coach Dan. I just feel high spirit today. Just bless me on it.
No, look, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, because it's true. Because I hear people all the time say, "I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that," and it's like, where is your time going? What are you devoting it to? And does that stuff align? And if it doesn't align, then you're gonna look up and it's going to be November, December, and you still trying to figure out how to get to those New Year's resolutions that you set at the beginning of the year. So you at some point you have to sit and put things in order if you want to actually see results.
Oh, I absolutely love it. And I'm telling you, around this podcast, the time just flies. I know y'all want me and Coach Dan to stay here all day, but because I know they feeling it when they see this, they gonna feel it on the other side. But it's already our time, and this is the time in our show we actually cue to Coach Danny for final thoughts we asked her to give us some great parting words for ending this episode and really give us something that captures the essence of Coach Danny. So I'm going to go ahead and cue over to you for final thoughts.
So my final thoughts are this: again, get your house in order, because you will start to see progress. You will start to see your business grow. You start to see things blossom. When you take that step, God's gonna meet you. God meets you all the time, each and every time. But you have to take the step. You have to take that first step and show that you are committed to the thing that you say that you want. So make sure that you are doing that. Also, I know that there's that voice that's telling you that this is too big, it's too great, it's too grand, but silence that voice. That's a part of what I work on clients with, is silencing that voice so that you can hear God's voice, so that you can hear where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to be doing. And we all have a great and divine purpose. So don't sit back thinking that you have to shrink yourself to fit in. Don't look at whatever that thing is that is usually the thing that you think is like your weakness is probably your superpower, and you need to be amplifying it.
I told y'all Coach Danny is a gem, because that silence, we're not gonna crank it back up. Let me just say this one thing, because that silence, that silence in their voice, baby. And if you don't know how to do that, I encourage you to get some help on today. Because if you have never been in a place to have to think about doing that, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Because you know what? I have a coach that tell me all the time, it's not what the other folks say about you that's really keeping you back. It's what you up in here saying about yourself, because the stuff internally that you tell yourself.
Yep.
Okay, y'all. So we're gonna have to do a part 2. We're gonna do a part 2 because y'all see how this thing just
I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Y'all, we've reached the end of the HBCU Her Voice podcast, and what a show, what a message. I tell everybody, miraculous things happen when you let your voice shine. I would never leave this place. I'll tell you that I love you. We'll be back really in no time with another amazing woman on the HBCU Her Voice podcast, and we love you.